based on us getting, some actual corners on the team now. And we got Charvarius Ward. We're going to have Ambry. We're going to have Mosley, maybe Jason Brett later in the season. Do you think we're going to be a lot more physical, aggressive style defense this year, especially out on the outside with some man press coverage?
Here's the way I interpreted last year. Last year, I saw D'Amico, who came. He wanted to be that kind of guy. Like Salah's very conservative. Let's hang back, keep it in front of us, play zone. D'Amico's like, no, we're playing bump and run, man-to-man coverage. And what happened the first 2 months of the year? Pass interference, long catch. And I think halfway through the year, he's like, well, I just don't have the corners to pull this off. I don't have Jason Verrett. You know what I'm saying? So, like, new plan, guys. Everyone play 9 yards off the ball and don't commit a pass interference penalty. Don't give up even if it's 3rd and 15. And that, they stopped giving up penalties and big plays, but their third down defense was trash. And it really hurt them down the stretch. So now they invested in Charvarius Ward. I think they're going to give it another shot. Don't know if it's going to work. Because Ward, you look at him 2 years ago, he had like 11 pass interference penalties. And if they start piling up, is D'Amico going to flinch? I would. I would.
He did last season. We saw it last season. He flinched. Because after that Green Bay game, I was there in person. You remember. It was terrible. I mean, that was the whole offense.
The Indy game was like
the Indy game too. I was at that one too.
It was the pouring rain, and Wentz was like, "I'm just throwing it up." Every time he did flag, it was like, "Man, they're not even really doing anything." Yeah, I mean,
so
the Colts weren't even really doing anything. They're getting bailed out.
So with our 12 defensive linemen that we're probably going to carry, and then some better corners, you think that defense is going to even elevate more? Just because they're going to be so aggressive and they're going to actually have somebody maybe that can guard on the back end.
If they have Charvarius Ward playing aggressive man-to-man coverage and he's doing it well and he's like holding his own against number one receivers like A.J. Brown that the Niners couldn't match up with, then yes, they're going to have a really, really, really good defense. But if he's getting flagged and Emmanuel Mosley's playing really soft, and it's going to be the same thing. It'd be nice if they get Jason Brett back, but I don't know.
Later in the season, maybe.
I don't know about that. Yeah. No.
So second question I had, and last question, so we can let another caller go on.
Sure.
Anthony Lynn, man, how's he going to change the run game? I know you've talked about it throughout the summer. It's going to be more of an inside zone, maybe power run scheme. But do you think that's going to help out Trey Lance because he's not going to be depended on as much, especially early on in the season?
I think he's going to be dependent on. I think they're going to run him. I think there's going to be a lot of zone read stuff. I don't know how much he's going to keep the ball, but that's going to be the new bread and butter play in the Niners offense.
So can I ask you this? Because I know last season it was real hush-hush. You couldn't really talk about what you saw in minicamp and all of that. Are you able to talk about what you saw last season now?
Yeah. I mean, what I saw last year before they shut it down and made him just sort of play from the pocket was a lot of zone read and a lot of play action. So when he's under center, he's going to be under center a fair amount because that's the best way to do play action. And they're going to do a lot of that because that's what Kyle likes to do. And that's what Kyle likes to do. It's what he did in Atlanta and in Washington. So you're going to see Trey under center with a lot of the play fakes and rolling left and right. You didn't see that with Jimmy Garoppolo. I know it seems basic. I should have been able to say it last year, but it's a big departure from what they've been doing the last few years. Play action.
Do you think have you seen them at all where they'll send a jet sweep in motion, maybe do a shovel and then run an option off of that as well? Or did they not do a lot of that?
They did a little bit of that last year. They did a little bit of that in the preseason too. They didn't do any of that in minicamp, but they're still installing the basic stuff. They didn't do any zone read in minicamp, but they will in training camp.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for you, Grant, man. It was nice coming on. I'll be on a little bit more. I'm going to shoot you some articles too.
Oh yeah. Wonderful. Always welcome.
And I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having my back too. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, fans, Grant is the real deal, man. Let me tell this real quick. So on Trust alone last year, I submitted an article to Grant. I said, hey, man, what do you think about this? I want to get your opinion. How do you get in the game? Grant put me on his platform. He gave me a shot. He carried my articles all season long. I wasn't the only person he did this for. He did this for a lot of people. And he did it on trust. I mean, he trusted me to conduct myself the right way out in public. He trusted me to, put out good content and not take shots or anything like that. That was, over the top. Just be a good, impartial, writer. And he will do this for anybody. It just shows the type of person Grant is. So everybody needs to really support him and get on his side because he did absolutely nothing wrong. And, all of his true friends were all out there defending him on Twitter. And that's what all of you guys should do. So keep supporting Grant. Love this man.
That was really nice of you, Chewy. Have a good one, man. Hope to see you
All
soon.
right, take it.